Hi everybody, it's Cecilia Prentice from Jilby Delivers, and today I'm going to show you how to make a really simple but super elegant lime curd tart. And it's actually a great recipe because it's great as a gift or it's great for dinner parties, and it's actually super simple to make but looks pretty impressive. So for the tart shell itself, we are going to use, this is a 10-inch removable tart shell pan. And we need butter, and we have exactly 3/4 of a cup of butter here, which is 1.5 sticks. We have 1 3/4 cup flour. We have a 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, and this is super fine. I tend to like super fine sugar because it melts better and it just is a better texture overall, I feel. We've also got some salt we're going to use, just a pinch, and then vanilla extract. For the tart, we are going to start with an electric mixer with the paddle attachment. That's what the paddle attachment looks like. And we're going to put in our butter. And our sugar. And we're just going to mix till these are combined. So we just want to get them mixed together like that. Next, we're going to add our vanilla extract. And then for our flour mixture, we're going to put our salt in our flour. It's just a pinch of salt in the flour, and then you're going to sift it so that the flour is not lumpy when we make our tart. So I'm just going to sift it. Got a couple of lumps there. We'll just go like that. And then that's ready to go into our sugar butter mixture. You can see I've scraped down the inside of my bowl, so the butter and the sugar and the vanilla, and I've just dumped in my flour and my salt. I'm going to turn the mixer on, and I'm just going to mix it until it starts to come together. I really don't want to overmix this too much because otherwise you'll start getting a tougher crust. The flour will start to, get a little, develop some gluten and get a little tough. So that's about right there. So this is my tart dough that has been rolled out. I've just put it on a floured board and rolled it to about 1/4 inch thick. This is my finished tart shell. It's still raw. I shaped it into a disc, I put it in, and it's a really tender dough, so you're gonna have to work with it a little bit. The main thing you want is the edges to be pretty much the same width. And then you're going to take your rolling pin when you're done putting it in and shaping it and roll it over the top so that it's flat on the top. And now this is ready to go into the refrigerator. We're going to chill this for about 20 or 30 minutes before we blind bake it. So here is our raw tart shell that has been chilled. We're going to take a piece of tin foil that I've buttered one side of it. We're just going to put that on and sort of gently push it in. And we're doing something called blind baking. And that is when you bake a shell like this or a pie without anything in it. And we don't want it to bubble up. So we're going to take something heavy like beans or rice. You can even buy ceramic pie weights, they're called. We're just going to put some dried beans in here on top of that. This will keep it nice and keep the tart itself from bubbling. And we're going to pop this in the oven at 350 degrees for 20 minutes. Then we're going to take the tin foil off, prick the shell with the tines of a fork just to let some of the steam escape, and bake it for another 20 minutes until it is golden brown. So now we're going to start working on our curd, and this is going to be a lime curd. The great thing about this recipe is actually you can use any kind of juice that you want to make your curd. It's much better if it's a sour juice. Blood oranges work great. If you have a lot of lemons in your backyard, that works great. We're going to use limes here. You can also use passion fruit if you like passion fruit curd. And curd is basically a butter, sugar, juice, egg, almost like a custard, but softer. And it's great. You can keep it in your fridge. It makes a nice gift. And we're going to start working on the limes here. We've got 4 limes. Everything should be room temperature. The limes, we're going to go like this. This gets a little more juice out of them. We're going to zest these and get the juice out of them. We've got our butter softened. We've got our 4 whole eggs. We have got 1.5 cups of granulated sugar, and we have got a pinch of salt. So I have the butter in my stand mixer with the paddle attachment. I'm just creaming it And then I've got the zest of 4 limes and my sugar, and I'm just going to add this in slowly to my butter, and we're going to let it cream for a little bit here. Just going to cream that together. Now that this is creamed together, I'm going to add my eggs slowly, just like that. One at a time if you can do it, but and now all 4 eggs are in there. We're going to add just a pinch of salt, and then we're going to take our half a cup of lime juice from 4 limes, and we're going to add that in. And we're just going to stir it in. Now that's ready to go onto the stove. We've got our lime curd on the stove now. It's on a medium to low heat. We've been cooking this just about a minute or so, 2 minutes, and you can see that the butter has started to melt a little bit, and you can see now it's much more liquidy. Okay, so I've been stirring this probably about 6 or 7 minutes. You can see it's starting to really come together now. Look, you can see it. When I lift up the spoon, you see how it's really starting to thicken. Just another minute or so, maybe even a little bit less, and I think it'll be perfect. Okay, that's it. I'm going to take it off the heat. You can see the texture. One of the ways you can always test, see the difference in the texture. One of the ways you can test is you can run a finger through it, and it should leave, it's hot obviously, but it should leave a trail. This is our finished baked tart shell. You can see it's a nice golden brown. You can see where I've poked it with a fork to let some of the steam escape. It's not perfect, but that's okay. We're going to put lime curd in it. This is our final lime curd tart. I've decorated it with just a few thinly sliced limes on the top. Once I filled it with the warm curd, I let it sit for a few hours so that it can set. It's delicious, topped with fresh berries or a little whipped cream. So enjoy.